Yo, what up? Welcome back. I'm sorry for the absence. I went away to Adelaide for a bit of a holiday and just to get away from Melbourne and just get away from work for a bit, and it was really much needed. So I'm back feeling pretty refreshed. Where we left off, I took a recap because it's been a minute since I've done one of these, and so where we left off was boom, Teresia about to get sacrificed by the God Hand and her dad, the Count, given the fact that her mum fucked a goat, really, didn't she? Because there's no nice way of saying that. So it is what it is. You got to own it. I mean, the pictures don't lie. I mean, where's the? I hate to go back there, but caught in 4K, and there's really no avoiding that. So where we left off was Guts was basically completely destroyed. His body was completely destroyed, and the Count is deciding whether to sacrifice his daughter Teresia. And there's two elements and there's two sides to this. So I'm inclined to think that he wouldn't do it because of the affection that he has shown his daughter and his overprotectiveness of locking her in that her room for several years and her never being able to see the outside world. But at the same time, on the other hand, you can see that his secrets are exposed. So is he afraid of how he's going to view her and how he's going to view his mum? Is he depressed about that? Would he feel that she would be better served not having to live and exist with this trauma in her life? Is he going to take the decision out of her hands and be like, well, I'm doing her a favor by sacrificing her so she doesn't have to live with the pain? And that's how he's going to justify it to himself. Could go either way. That's really interesting. And I also really want to know about Guts and his relationship to Griffith and how that kind of unfolded, because there's a lot of animosity and a lot of resentment between the two of them there. So I just realized my thumb's like right in the camera. Sorry. Let me hide my head. Anyways, sorry. So again, where we left off, this last page here, we see Guts has been just destroyed, and his hand, if I can zoom in and show you here, you can see his hand is mangled, and Guts requests to Puck and says, "Hey Bug, all I need is my right arm. Make it so that I can use it. Hurry up." So clearly I think he wants to get his sword, wants to fuck some shit up. Before we get started, I'm going to do this chapter a little differently. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to read it in real time and give you my real time reactions, because I just haven't had the time to read it prior and then kind of take notes. And yeah, so I hope that's okay. If you guys don't like it, leave a comment and say, hey, go back to the old format. I'm happy to go back and do that moving forward. But for this one, special episode. Anyways, Guardians of Desire chapter 6, I'm pretty sure we're up to. I'm loving this storyline, by the way. So I'm going to read it and then I'm going to show you guys. So we have a flashback. Here we go. So a flashback of young Griffith and Guts. This is really cool. So Griffith says, "Hey, you alive?" Guts says, "Yeah, more or less." Griffith says, "Man, you sure have the luck of the devil." And Guts is not really saying a lot. Griffith says, "Here," offering a hand to help Guts up. This is really cool. Look at how young Guts is here. I'll go back so you can see the full panel. So flashback on a massive field of bodies. So clearly they're both very skilled warriors, and we already knew that, but we have not seen Griffith in this human form, I guess, right? So Griffith offering to help Guts up. And I wonder how long they've known each other for, because they're so young here. I wonder if they knew each other before, how far before they knew each other before this battle here in this particular panel. Griffith says, "Martyrdom for a merciless god. What a waste. On the battlefield, the life of a common soldier isn't even worth a single piece of silver. In today's world, most people's lives are subject to the whims of a handful of nobility and royalty. Of course, even the king himself can't live exactly as he pleases. We are all at the mercy of a great tide, fate, or whatever you wish to call it, and we will all disappear in the end, our lives spent, never knowing who we were." Very introspective. So this is the panel here, and this is just Griffith monologuing, just yapping like me. It's true, I mean, to a degree. I mean, we know that the powerful elites, even in our real world here, I guess that's what Kentaro Miura was trying to talk about and relate. And there's a parallel between this world and the real world, obviously, where we can see that in this day and age, where a lot of officers that send soldiers to war, we experienced that in World War One and Two. A lot of the officers that will send soldiers to war will have never seen the battlefields that their own soldiers have died on. So it's like, you know, it's all for the benefit of the elites that never have to experience the war firsthand, right? I guess that's like a normal introspective kind of feeling to have, especially if you're on the battlefield, right? And it's a very calming perspective in the sense that it's like if you pass, that's you're fated to pass, right? So Guts kind of is quiet there. And then Griffith says, in life, unrelated to one's standing or social standing or class is determined by man, there are some people who, by nature, are keys that set the world in motion. They are the true elite, as dictated by the golden rule of the universe. That's what I want to know. What is my place in the world? Who am I? What am I capable of? What am I destined for? Guts is looking on solemnly and listening carefully. And then Griffith says, it's funny. What's funny? You're the first person I've ever spoken to like this. At that time, he shone before me as something beautiful, noble, and larger than life. Interesting. So, again, Guts is just listening. I feel like he is the solemn, quiet type, but I feel like he has a lot of respect for Griffith as a warrior and as an intellectual, I guess. I don't know a better word for it, but you guys understand what I'm trying to say. And look at this. It says, at this time, he shone before me as something beautiful, noble, and larger than life. Griffith is a he? Bro, he's pretty as. What the hell's going on here? I thought that was a chick. It reminds me of, oh my god, Gojo from, oh my god, Jujutsu Kaisen. Very fucking pretty. Like, what the hell is this? Interesting. At that time, he shone before me something beautiful, noble, and larger than life. I feel like that's a Guts introspection. Yeah, a lot of love and appreciation and respect for Griffith as a person. Like, that's a deep respect to say words like that. And flashback to Demon Hour. Like, they'd be so scary for poor Teresia, what she has to experience with knowing her dad has dealt with these creatures firsthand already. Terrifying. Flashback to the maze-like world that we exist in. Teresia's absolutely shooketh to the core with fear. Brainiac over here, I forgot what his name was, says, "Come now, speak it. Do you offer this girl as a sacrifice to demonkind or not?" Oh, the pressure he is under. Look at this. And he's like, "You listen to me." And obviously, Count is like, he's like, fuck, do I kill my daughter for power or not? Oh, tough choice. Like, father of the year award over here. We already knew he was a shit dad, though. And the other of the God-handed there listening, Griffith is standing above, looking down on the Count with absolute disgust in his face, sorry. And Puck shouts at Teresia. He says, "What are you waiting for?" Oh, sorry, this is Gut saying, "What are you waiting for? Get over here now." Puck says, but... Yeah, so you see here the look of disgust on Griffith's face, looking down at the Count right here. Just I love how he's looking for a higher power, but Griffith is looking down like, you're nothing. You're beneath me. Like, even though you have ascended from human, you're beneath me even then again. Because I feel like Griffith has a different determination on what power and status is. For the Count, power is having superhuman strength and not experiencing the human element, whereas for Griffith it's something deeper than that, which we saw in the flashback, right? Gut says, "Or else your precious friend's gonna get branded with one of those things." Look at him smiling. Ugh, it's kind of disturbing. "If you don't want that to happen, hurry up and heal my arm. That's what you're good for, isn't it?" And then Puck flies down to heal his arm. And then Guts is thinking, I'm beneath your notice, huh? This petty existence is beneath your notice. And then I'm assuming that Brainiac says, what's wrong, Count? Why are you hesitating? And Teresia is just shaking in fear. And then the cat is like, Teresia, you put her in this position, bro. Anyways, and then one of the blobs from the God Hand says, if you keep this up, before you know it, your life will snuff out. Because, he's on a half a head. Forgot about that. And then the sexy God Hand lady says, you already belong to us. Even after you die, don't think you'll be resting in a place in the afterworld. So they're putting pressure on this man to make this decision. I wonder if it benefits them to sacrifice her, or if they just enjoy the mockery of humankind. Because I'll flip it now. So, sorry, there you go. So Guts is laughing about her possibly getting branded. He's like, dude, hurry up, or she's gonna die. And then he's laying there, and then he says, I'm beneath your notice, referencing Griffith here. He just desperate to be noticed by Griffith. I feel like he has such an admiration and respect for him, but also a detest for clearly what's happened in the past, which we're yet to learn about. And then she's here, worrying about the brand. Woo-hoo! Shut up. Stop crying. And then they're like pressuring him to hurry up and brand her. Whoa, what? Did I skip a page? Yep. Spoiler alert. Anyways, alright. Behold, Count. Oh, this is Griffith saying, behold, Count. And then, what is going on here? I'm assuming he gets healed. His arm gets... No. What's happening? Behold, Count. So, Griffith is pointing at Teresia. And he just jolts for some... And then Guts starts jolts for some reason and starts writhing in agonizing pain. Blood is spilling. Maybe it's from his brand? What's it? And then Guts says... What is it? It's an enormous and endless swell of consciousness, endlessness and evil, as if all the evil in the world were gathered here. A whirlpool of souls. Oh my days. Okay, I was confused by this, but look at this. Griffith says, behold, Count. And then Teresia turns and looks, and Guts starts like tweaking over here. I'm assuming it's because of the brand and what happened and the power that he has over Guts. Someone explain. If it's not a spoiler, explain what's going on there, because I'm a little bit confused. And then, Puck says here, endlessness and evil, as if all of the evil in the world were gathered here in an endless swirl of consciousness, and this like demon whirlpool here. I wonder why it's opening up. He must have that power. Griffith must just be that fucking dude. Like, I don't know what to... This is what I got spoiled. This is pretty cool, though. Check this out. Freaking awesome. What is that? Just like a full whirlpool of souls? Dude. Oh, wow. I didn't even notice. Okay. So that's Griffith. Count. Boohoo man over here. I'm assuming his daughter. Our hero. And then all the other blob god hands. This is crazy. That's so cool, actually. And Guts is like freaking out right now. His face is absolutely distraught with fear. And then the Count says, oh no, that's not... Griffith says, but it is, Count. It's only a small portion, of course, but this is hell. Damn, what the fuck? Did he just summon hell? Okay. Guts has no chance against this dude. There's no way he can beat him as a human. And then Guts is... Assuming Guts is a human, by the way. We've just operated under that assumption this whole time. Imagine he's not. And Guts is in terror. And then Griffith says, Count, the vibrations of your soul are moving you ever closer to demon kind. When your body or flesh expires, your spirit will be whisked away by a wave of demon kind straight to hell. And you shall wander within that dark swirl of souls for all humanity. Yeah, before long, you won't even be able to preserve any final remnants of your individual self. Like a drop of water, you'll simply dissolve, becoming no more than another swell in an ocean of dark souls. Shout out Dark Souls, man. Good game series. I'm gonna quickly tier list them. Dark Souls 1, Elden Ring, Bloodborne, Dark Souls 3. I haven't played Sekiro, by the way. And then down the Demon Souls, then Dark Souls 2. Sekiro is not included because I haven't played it yet. So let me know what you think of that. Anyways, back to this. So, Guts is absolutely... This is not very eloquent of me, but shitting bricks, right? And what we see is, Griffith looking like an absolute demon. Look at this. That is crazy. Sorry about the finger close-ups today. But, again, they're putting pressure on him to make this decision. All of this is just a lot of pressure. A lot of pressure that they're lumping on the Count to sacrifice his daughter. Why does it matter to them so much? Are they sending a message to Guts? Are they just... do they enjoy causing this pain? I believe all it is they like to torment people. That's all I believe it is. Like, if they can summon hell, I feel like they are... Again, this might be just some, religious commentary that I'm missing here, but I believe it's... that they have to just enjoy causing pain and suffering, I guess. Oh my god, can I turn the page? These pages are stuck together. There we go. Alright, the sexy god hand says... I don't know what her name is, so, this one, just so you guys get an idea. This one right here. She says, that's the fate of those who get caught up with demon kind. Guts again, just laying there. Blood splattering from the side of his head. Oh my god, of course it's the brand. It's the brand because, when the danger gets close to him, he... Got it. Caught up with demon kind. What is that? Yeah, the brand is bleeding. Okay. I said that before I saw the picture. Okay, I just want to clarify. Does that mean Guts? Sorry guys. Puck says, does that mean Guts? What does that mean? Okay, interesting. So, she says that's the fate of people that get caught up with demon kind. Caught up with demon kind. Does that mean... So Guts was clearly sacrificed. Is that her finally realizing? Look at the sadness and despair in his face. That's quite... It's just unsettling. Hey, I've got no other words to describe it. I don't know how else to describe I feel about seeing his pain and suffering. Anyways, I think she's realizing how much Guts has suffered to get to this point. That must be what she's upset about. Anyway, so the whirlpool's still going. Guts is laying there. I don't know why it's sideways. Anyways, the demon souls are swirling. Guts is just... he's just sweating. He's just sweating profusely. Look, he just went to a Zumba class or something. He's sweating like crazy. Then it's the Griffith says, Count, there's only two paths remain open to you. Be reborn again, live among demons, and continue your existence among demon kind, or have that existence absorbed by demon kind and revert to nothingness. I'm not gonna lie, bro. He better man up as dad of the year and let himself die. Do not kill your daughter. Oh, sorry. I didn't even show you guys. Sorry. My bad. It's not a lot to see there, really. Sweating. He was working out. He's laying there. Right. And then we see... Is this whole panel? Anyways. So, yeah. And then we see, again, the pressure is being heaped on the Count. What's he going to do? Right. And then the blob demon... blob god hand says... Just one single phrase. I offer you my daughter for sacrifice. That's all you have to say. And then your daughter will be branded. The child will then belong to demon kind. Whoa. Meaning that she would belong to hell. And damnation. Which would mean that there's no salvation for you. Because you would be fated to the same as demon kind, correct? Thereby implying that Guts is fated to nothingness. He has no afterlife. He has no sanctuary in life or in passing. So he's doomed for suffering eternally. Bruh. Man, that is such a personal thing to do to someone. You can't do that to your daughter, man. That. Oh my god, what the fuck? I think I've hit the nail on the head there. I think it's like clicked in my little brain, just like, bing. Alright, so the brand is still there. I feel like the brand's pushing her towards the edge. Look at this. So that's what they're saying up here. This is when it clicked in my little brain that there is no salvation for anyone who's been branded. And the brand, oh my gosh, this book, you can see here, the brand is pushing her towards the edge down here. See? And she's in lots of fear. And then the creepy big brainiac, God Hand says, "Speak it." And the splattered count is just laying there, well, splattered. And then they're forcing him, saying one phrase, just one single phrase. The pressure. I've never felt so worried about someone who cannot see my face before, because that is freaky. Looks like zippers, doesn't it? Oh, that's stitched. Anyways, so they're heaping pressure. What does he say? Oh, this is the Count's thoughts now. So cold. All my blood is flowing out of my body. Is this the end for me? Only to die as some carved up monster, wretched and horrible? Only to be sucked into that vortex for all eternity? No. No. I don't want to die. And in his eyes, he sees his daughter, who says, "Father." Oh, man. What the fuck? Okay. He's just having an internal monologue here, reflecting on the whirlpool. And you can see in his eye the reflection of his daughter. Bruh. Oh my god. He better not fucking do it, I swear to god. And that's a flashback to the Count seeing his daughter Theresia in front of a big picture of his family. Oh my god. Light flashes in front of her and she says, "Kya!" Guts, Puck, God Hand looks on. Griffith looks on. And the Brainiac, God Hand says, "The thread of casualty has been severed." What the fuck? Dude, what is going on? I'm sorry for swearing, but what? Alright, so this is really cool imagery, see? He's looking on at, like, his past. Oh, what happened? What the... Oh, dude, what the hell? This is crazy. What the hell? So out of the whirlpool, I thought it was a little snake. It's a freaking, like, giant snake of, like, souls reaching out. That is insane. They're gonna grab him. He didn't do it. He didn't do it. Goated dad. Best dad in the world. Alright, finally. Not the best dad in the world. Not the best dad in the world, but pretty redemption arc. Anyways, so he gets swamped by the souls. Grab him. The dead, Puck says, the dead are dragging the Count down to hell. Oh my god, it's Vargas. What the fuck? The homie. I'm gonna get emotional. I miss Vargas, bro. He was the best. Oh my god. Shout out Vargas. Anyways, the souls grab him, the Count, and they are down here, and you can see Guts looking on and Theresia in the background, and the souls grab him, and then, yeah, Puck says the dead are dragging him down to hell, and we see Vargas here. Man, that makes me happy to say, no, it's not I'm not happy. I'm not happy at all. He's down there with the other souls. That's actually really sad. Now I'm sad. Fuck. And then Guts thinks, Vargas? Oh my god, there's everyone else down there. Ew, look at these souls. Theresia! Oh my god! They absorbed him in. I'll come back. I need to go ahead. Hang on. So, what the fuck? All right, so Vargas, they see Vargas down there, which is really sad because that means he's down there with all the other dead souls. That's fucking awful. And then we see the Count. I gotta zoom in for you guys. Ugh. The Count getting sucked up into the worm, and she's calling out to Teresia. Sorry, he's calling out to Teresia, just distraught and fearful, and she's like, "Father," not processing it. I don't blame her for not processing what's happening, by the way. Like, this is horrible. And he's reaching out to her. She reaches back out to him, and he calls out to Teresia. Here, he's calling out to her as he's getting dragged away. And then she's getting upset as he gets sucked back off into the freaking void. Man. Bro, I can't even deal with this. Oh, fuck. Bro, it's gonna be the death of me, man. This shit's fucking... This is sad. Every chapter is just depressing. Anyways, so... excuse me. He's the best for that. He's so good for that. I just want to say, I really would quickly want to stop here and just say he's the best for that, because he could have done it. He could have thought to himself, as I said before, he could have just simply thought to himself, I'm going to sacrifice her because she's already traumatized. She can't sit with the emotions. I'm going to do her a favor and remove her from the trauma that she's living in. He gave himself up for her, finally making a selfless decision. Because even him, not trying to be rude here, but even him trying to kill himself when he had his daughter still. Think about your daughter. What about you? Like, what, you're going to leave her alone? She needed you in that moment, and then you're going to, like, leave her? Possibly the first selfless decision this man has made in his whole family's history. Redemption. Shout out him. That's so good. Depressing, but really good. And really good storytelling too. All right. Guts is distraught. Puck shouts out, Teresia! And then Guts looks around. I didn't see this. And the souls are trying to grab his boot. A sacrifice. Oh my god. And they're trying to grab Guts now. So he sees them grabbing for his boot. And he's just laying there and the souls are trying to grab him. Oh god. Oh my god. These pages, bro. I swear to god. Hang on. Bing bong. Oh my god. Guts gets grabbed and Puck shouts out, Guts! That's right. Guts has the brand. He's looking fearful. And Guts turns around as he's being pulled away and looks at Griffith, who turns his back on him. Bro. Griffith, if you're watching this. Anyways. And they're leaving. Guts, his arm got healed by Puck. Sorry, I didn't mean to point again. Guts' arm is healed and he reaches out into his backpack, pulls out his gun, pulls his arm off. Oh no, his hand flips in for the gun to pop out. He puts in like some gunpowder, puts a bullet in, locks it back in, and shouts, Griffith! I'll turn it and show you. Sorry. I'm getting enamored in this, sorry. So he's getting dragged away by the souls. And he looks over to Griffith, who turns his back on him. Bro. Loads up his arm gun. And shuts Griffith. I wonder if he's going to shoot at the souls or Griffith. Excuse me. And the souls are grabbing onto his legs. And he shoots at Griffith. The power of the shot must have released the soul's grip from him. Sorry, I got hiccups. Sorry. Shoots at Griffith. I keep getting distracted by like how enamored I'm in this and not like talking to you guys. Sorry. Yeah. So he shoots while still being grabbed. The souls release their grip probably just the power of the shot, I guess. Fires straight at Griffith with some velocity, might I add. And what happens? Bruh. This guy is Superman. This guy is fucking unkillable. This is insane. I could kind of tell from the flashback that we saw anyways that Griffith was just a... I want to say a G because it's too like simple-minded, but Griffith was just on a different level of soldier. You could kind of just tell. Guts was tough, and he's a fighter, but Griffith is like classy. Not in like a human way that we know the word classy, but in like classy in like the sense as a warrior, a classy warrior, just a skilled warrior. Anyways, so the bullet's flying at Griffith. I'll show you guys. The bullet is flying at Griffith. Dude, that is a demon eye if ever I've seen one. Look at that. That is the eye of someone who has long lost their humanity. There is a coldness. Yeah, there is a coldness in that look. Look at this. Yeah, wow. Anyways, the bullet explodes before it can reach him on some force field type shit. And Guts is just shook again. That man... I feel so sorry for him. He's never going to experience the revenge that he wants because clearly something's happened and I really want to know like right now what's happened. He's watching this in despair. You can tell it's a despairing emotion that he's experiencing here. And he tumbles to the ground after being grabbed by the by the souls from hell. And I don't know why I did that face. Anyways, moving on. And he hits the deck. And they're leaving. All of the souls are leaving. Souls. Bruh. The God Hand are leaving. And he's just despairing. Again, look at this face. That's the face of someone who is longing, painfully longing for revenge, closure. Closure. I think closure is actually probably the right word I would use here. And look at this angle. I love this panel, actually. Look at this panel. This one here. This is really cool. It's like shows the weakness of the human condition here. On his ass, on the floor, always having to touch earth while they're above him elevated, and he's looking up at them with no hope. Well, not no hope. With an inability to act at this point in time. Right? Look at this. Really cool scenery. And they all kind of turn their backs on him. And Griffith and Guts have one more moment. A little intimate moment together. And then, these pages, bro. It's going to be the death of me. Bang. And then the vortex clears up. Beautiful night sky. This is a really cool panel. I like this. And the townspeople are looking up. Yeah. And then it's really peaceful. I got like a weirdly peaceful feeling looking at that. Flashback to the, oh my god, back to the Count's main room, like the throne room. The Behelit's laying there. Guts is laying on the ground holding his like mechanical arm. And his sword clanks on the ground. Guts is looking up. Again, sweating profusely. I've got nothing to add to that, really. But then Puck says, are we back? And Puck looks over at Teresia, who's on the floor, gasping for air. I feel so much sympathy for her, and I just feel the pain that she's feeling right now. Like, I could never, ever understand what that would be like. But I can feel the pain and the exhaustion from experiencing something like that. Oh my god, there is the Count. Oh my god. Okay, so bang, smack bang, back in the throne room here. And here's Guts, laying on the ground holding his arm. There's the Count, or what's left of him. And there's Teresia laying at the altar that her father's life has been sacrificed at. Effectively, right? I mean, that's kind of the imagery they're experiencing is him being sacrificed. That's like him giving up his life to demonkind. That's the deal he made. And now she's at the altar, longingly feeling pain. I don't know how else to say that, because like it wasn't even her decision to go through that. She didn't ask her mum to fuck a goat. She didn't ask her dad to like sacrifice his mum to like demonkind. And then she didn't ask her dad to turn to a monster and then almost sacrifice her to hell, to eternal damnation. And now she's lost her dad, who made the right decision, and she has nobody. Now she has nobody. Guts says, Teresia. And she says, no. And swats at Guts. She says, no, 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 get away from me. It's a lie. All of it, the whole place, it's a lie. That's really fucking sad. I don't know. I just said it all so you guys can have a look if you want for a minute. It's, yeah, I've already spoken about it. There's nothing else to add to it. I could never ever understand what that pain would be like. Like, I feel really sad right now. Like, I don't know how to explain my emotions. I feel really sad for her, but I'm not crying, because I just, like, I could never relate to that. Like, I can empathize, and I feel so sorry for her, and it makes me really sad to see it, but I just could never understand what that would be like. Like, yeah, it's awful. It's really awful. She says, take me back to my room. I want to go back to my room. Oh my god, bro. That's all she knows. That's her safe place. Oh, this is really sad. Alright, so I work in residential care and youth work, and a lot of the time, so what I do is I work with young people who, if you don't want to hear this, you can skip over it, but this relates to Berserk, and relates to Teresia right now. So, her being locked in her room, and now being free from that room, but suddenly experiencing scary and traumatic things, that's her safe place, her room now. That was initially her prison, but it's familiar enough to the point where she knows that her dad was alive at that time. When she was in that room, her dad was alive, she was safe, secure, there wasn't really any risk to her existence in that space, but now she's got nobody. So what I'm trying to say is, like, my clients, often when they feel unsettled or unsafe, they'll reach out to carers like me or someone else that they trust, and they're like, hey, like, can I talk to you? Or I need some space in my bedroom. Like, I need to go and, like, have a quick cry. Like, you know what I mean? It's just, what I've seen from my clients is what I'm seeing from Teresia right now, in the sense that she has escaped her room, which she was trying to do for so many years, and now that she's out and all of these traumatic events have unfolded, she now longs for the safety and the security and the memories of her room, which was once her prison, and she only wishes for it to go back now. But she doesn't wish to be locked away and confined. She wishes to return to a time where her dad was alive and she felt safe, which is freaking sad. That is really sad. Anyways, she says, I don't want to be here. Get me out of here. If I have to stay here in this place, I'd rather be dead. And then she hears Guts stand up right behind her. Big motherfucker. The way he's hanging on his sword is kind of gangster, though. I'm not going to lie. Check this out. So she says what she says. Here. Over there. And then she turns around and sees Guts standing right behind her. To which Guts replies, go ahead. Kill yourself. What the fuck, man? He needs to go and study youth work with me, and I can help this man have some empathy. Alright, anyways, let's keep going. And she's shocked by that. And Puck is shocked by that. And Puck gets angry and flies over and smacks him in the face and says, that's so heartless, Guts. You must have some idea of what Teresia's just been through, right? And Guts says, alright then, why not just die? Just give up if it's that bad. I love Guts, right? But, like, no empathy in this man's heart. Look at him. dude, clean talking all this shit. And yeah, her shock and Puck's frustration. She's holding everyone together. She holds him accountable for his lack of heart, I guess, for lack of better words. Anyways, then Gut says, "Come on, it's simple. All you have to do is slit your wrist with that thing. Then it'll all be over. The end of your worries." And Teresa looks at the knife that's on the floor and says, "You'll probably end up going to heaven. Or would you prefer hell? At least that way you might see your father and mother." Oh my god, what a fucking douchebag. What a douchebag. And then Puck says, "He's serious. That jerk means what he's saying." Gut says, "It's your life. Do what you want with it." And she looks down at the blade and reaches out for it. Oh my bro. I can't deal with this man right now. Look at this. Coaching her to death. Just like the God Hand were coaching. You know what I think? I think what he experienced from the God Hand just before, he's like, you know what? I don't give a frick. He's like, he sees their heartlessness, and he's like, I have to be in that mentality if I'm gonna beat them, or if I'm gonna get my revenge. So he can't be soft. He has to always be on edge. And so because he just experienced that as a reminder, he's like, no, I need to stay on edge. Possibly. That might be a reason as to why he's acting like an absolute asshole right now. She takes the blade. And then Puck jumps in between the blade and her wrist and says, "Whoa, hey, what do you think you're doing, Teresa? Stop it, snap out of it, this is crazy." Oh my god. And the ground suddenly gives way underneath Teresa. Oh my god, and she's falling. She's falling. Sorry, over here, she was gonna do some naughty stuff. Puck gets in the way because Puck is the fucking best character. In terms of emotional stability and support. And then suddenly the ground randomly gives way underneath Teresa. Will she die? Guts catches her with his sword. What a gangster. He does care. He's a big softy. Forget everything I just said. He's cool. He catches her. Oh my god. Ooh, she's cutting her hands open. So he catches her with his sword. Really cool imagery. And her hands are getting sliced open on the blade. Ooh. He needs to, like, flick the sword up. Nah, then he'll cut her hands off. What's he gonna do? She's screaming in pain. Guts is worried in his face, and he throws her back onto land again. And she's in pain, kind of grunting from her hands. And then Puck says, "Teresa, are you okay? Oh my god, that's terrible." Guts grabs his sword. What's going on? Why is he grabbing his face like that? So he saves her. So she was grabbing the sword, and he like flung her back onto like safe land, and she's in pain. He like is leaning down, worriedly grabs his face. He like clenches his nose and mouth for some reason. How long has this chapter got? Have we got a bit of... Oh, there's only 2 pages left. Alright, cool. So I just wanted to see how much time we had left, because we're up to 44 minutes. Jesus. Sorry. If you guys got somewhere to be, I'm sorry. Then Puck says, "Hold on, let me treat your wounds." Teresa. Ooh, she's angry. She says it all started after you came here. It's all because of you. Ooh, looking at Guts. Because of you. From those eyes, it looks like you don't plan to die anytime soon. Guts says he stands up and walks away. That's fine by me. He grabs the behelit as well. Ooh. Look at this anger and resentment in her face. So she is like angry at Guts. Not gonna lie. This was gonna happen regardless of... Either this was gonna happen, like where... the God Hand getting re-involved, the truth was going to come out because the God Hand is just like that, they're kind of assholes, or he was going to rule as a demon for a very long time and she was going to be locked up in her room. In a way, this is the best scenario outcome because the dad redeemed himself, she's free from her room, she's traumatized, but don't worry about that, and she can move on and build a life for herself outside of the trauma and everything that happened with her parents. And she, oh my god, she's angry. She says, I'll kill you. Devil, someday I swear I'll kill you. And then Puck says, Teresia, how could you? Nah, I get it. She's angry. She has to blame somebody, right? And she can't blame her mum or dad because her dad just chose to save her life. She's not going to blame him. And then Gut says, fine, I'm ready whenever you are. And Puck says, Guts, hey, wait up. Wow. I reckon she might make a comeback in this series. Look at this. I'll kill you. I'll kill you. Sorry, it's like a vocal stim. And then yeah, Puck is a very compassionate, caring person, but like I think Puck a little bit naive in this instance because like, what do you mean? How could you? She's upset. She's got to blame somebody. She's going to blame Guts. He's the easiest person to blame because 1, he's right in front of her. 2, he's the one that hacked up her dad. 3, he took her hostage at one point. 4, no, that's enough. Those are enough reasons. Oh, what? Whoa. Man is crying. Man down. Man down. And Puck says, Guts. Oh, Sorry, it doesn't say Guts. That's the end of the Guardians of Desire, Chapter 6. Well, then it's a spoiler from here. Wow. Bruh. I don't know how to feel about that. He's clearly distraught from leaving her alone. Like, and everything that unfolded. He feels sorry for her. Sorry for himself as well, maybe. Damn. He's upset. Then he wipes his face and then he's got like a face of determination. On second look, determined. A face of pure like determination. So he's like, this man just suffers. Like what else is there to say? His life is suffering. And we determined what fate awaits him in this chapter as well. The purgatory and such. There's no sanctuary in his life. In death or in existence. Like, so fuck. Oh, sorry. It's too late for me to say sorry now. Wow. Okay. Wowzers. Okay, guys. So that was Guardians of Desire Chapter 6. That was intense. Wow. Yeah. I don't know how to process that. I think that was really cool to find out about Guts and his mission to get back to Griffith. At this stage, he hasn't got the capacity to beat Griffith in any fight. And yeah, I don't see a way that he's actually going to be able to move on from this until he gets some type of revenge or closure. Until then, he's going to keep suffering. He's going to keep having to fight to practically death. And that's what's kind of entailing... It's like a dog chasing its tail almost, right? Like he just keeps going and going and going and going, but there's no end in sight. There's just more suffering, but he can't give up because that's just his determination and the grit. And I feel like, again, him seeing Griffith and experiencing all of what he just experienced again and being ignored by Griffith again is only more fuel to the fire. It's like a toxic relationship, really, when one partner is ignoring the other one and the other one tries to like get closer to them to bridge the gap that they feel has appeared, but it never works out like that. It never works out the way that you want it to work out. If we're talking from a toxic relationship perspective, which it is, clearly. Anyways, that's the end of the chapter. Hope you guys have enjoyed watching. I'll try and upload another one really soon. I'm sorry for the wait. Thank you guys. Cheers.